Mark Denslow worked the overnight shift at Greenbridge Market for easy money. The store sat quietly at the town's edge, its emptiness soothing to him as he restocked shelves and managed inventory. But everything changed 2 weeks in. That's when he first heard it. 3 slow knocks from the meat freezer. It was an unsettling sound, like knuckles tapping thick steel. Certain it was just the old refrigeration units, Mark continued working. But the knocks grew louder and more persistent. He radioed the night cleaner, Danny. "Hey, you hear that?" But Danny's cryptic response, "Don't open it," only fueled his unease. Danny vanished the next day, quitting without notice. Slowly, new noises emerged. Scraping, shuffling, a dragging sound behind the meat racks. Mark noticed an eerie handprint on the freezer door, fingers too long, almost like claws. Rhonda, his manager, reluctantly shared a story of Brian, a former worker who complained about someone trapped in the wall, only to disappear without a trace. Then, one night, the freezer door was ajar, a crack in the wall revealing something breathing behind it. Terrified, Mark fled, haunted by the knocks that persisted, a reminder of whatever lurked behind that wall, waiting for its next victim. Caleb Winters never thought his degree in biology would land him a job in the morgue. But after 6 months of job hunting and bills stacking up, he took the night shift at Brooksfield Medical Center, a small regional hospital in northern Illinois. His job was simple: receive and log incoming bodies, monitor the refrigeration units, and prep any urgent autopsies for the morning crew. No visitors, no supervisors, just him and the dead. The morgue was located in sublevel 2, 2 floors below the ER. To get there, you had to take the back elevator, the one that creaked and jolted just before it stopped, like it was hesitating. Caleb didn't like it, but he told himself it was just a machine, just metal and wires. He'd been on the job for 3 weeks when the elevator doors opened at 2:17 a.m. No one was inside. He hadn't called it. No one else was on that level. He reported it to maintenance. They found nothing. No calls, no logs, no explanation. One of the janitors, a guy named Luis, pulled him aside. "You work in sublevel 2 every night?" Caleb nodded. Luis frowned. "That elevator's been acting weird since 2018. It seemed the elevator was haunted by its own history. At exactly 2:17 a.m., the light above the door lit up. Ding. The doors opened. Nothing inside. But this time, the morgue lights flickered too. Just once. And when they came back on, Caleb wasn't alone. There was a smudge on the elevator wall, a handprint, pressed into the metal, as if someone had tried to climb out. That night, Caleb refused to look at the elevator. He kept the radio on, kept himself busy, but when he looked at the morgue refrigerator doors, one of them was open, and the sheet covering the body on tray 3 was gone. This eerie discovery was enough to drive his final decision. Caleb put in his resignation the next morning. No 2-week notice, just dropped off his badge and left. He never set foot in that hospital again. But sometimes, when he's in his apartment late at night, he hears a soft mechanical ding, and once in a parking garage, the elevator opened on its own. No one was inside, just a handprint on the wall, waiting. They told Mark not to go into Warehouse 9, but he didn't listen. Now he's not sure if he ever really left it. Mark Ellison took the 3rd shift at Delmer Freight and Storage for the solitude. After years in construction, an injury left him seeking quieter work. A friend recommended the job, security at a sprawling, half-abandoned shipping yard. 13 warehouses stood on the premises. On his first day, the foreman emphasized one rule: don't go into Warehouse 9. For 2 weeks, nothing disrupted the calm. Until one foggy night, when the alarm at Gate 3, next to Warehouse 9, went off at 3 a.m. Finding the gate chain cut, Mark's curiosity led him inside. The warehouse felt eerie and cold. As his flashlight scanned the shadows, Mark saw a figure, a human-like shape staring at the wall. Its face was grotesque, its eyes void, its voice a mechanical whine. Mark's instinct led him out as his heart raced. The police found only old crates and a mannequin with missing eyes, but Mark knew better. Though he left the job, Mark couldn't shake the presence of that entity. Shadows on monitors, crates nearing his post, and nightly visions reminded him of the warning he failed to heed. When Olivia Barrett moved into her quaint rental house, she imagined thin walls or creaky floors would be her biggest issues. But the peculiar occurrence every night shattered her expectations. At precisely 2:16 a.m., the hallway closet would mysteriously open, quietly releasing an unseen presence. Olivia, at 26, had claimed the little one-story on Sandridge Drive as her own, mainly due to its affordability. Its sparse kitchen and narrow hallway were easily overlooked for the chance of independence. The landlord had ominously mentioned the house's long vacancy, as the last tenant disappeared without a trace. He assured her of the neighborhood's tranquility, too tranquil, as Olivia later realized. During her first week, she adjusted to the quirks of the old house, dismissing the usual creaks and groans. But the eighth night was different. Awakening to the sound of the closet door creeping open sent chills down her spine. Sitting upright, paralyzed in anticipation, she heard footsteps approaching and the bedroom doorknob softly jangling. Heart racing, she grabbed her phone, flashlight ready. Nothing, just an empty, drafty hallway. Yet the unsettling incidents persisted, heightening her dread of the 2:16 phenomenon. With daring resolve, Olivia finally peered inside the closet, finding only mundane items, but her discomfort lingered. Despite nailing it shut, unexplained footage and chilling encounters forced Olivia to exile herself from the house. The malevolent aura refused to relinquish its haunt, forever trailed by the whispered echoes of night. You expect old houses to creak and the wind to whistle through cracks. But when lights start turning on by themselves in a room you never enter, it's not the house settling, it's something waking up. Lena Williams moved into her grandparents' Vermont farmhouse, expecting peace after city chaos. Instead, she found whispers of the past in the autumn air, whispering with every creak of the floorboards. Her eyes caught a light in the attic where no light should be. Lena climbed up, her flashlight cutting through the dust of forgotten memories. She found nothing but the unsettling remains of her lineage. The light was on again the next night. Then came the footsteps, heavy and deliberate on the floors above. Lena set up a camera only to find it smashed, leaving nothing but corrupted silence. A voice called her name softly, yet unyielding in the dead of night. "Lena! It's still here!" When footsteps and whispers ensued, she could no longer deny they were not alone. She fled, leaving behind the haunted house, but not the haunt itself. A story told through eerie emails, slowly unraveling a truth she couldn't escape. Alyssa Monroe believed that living alone would offer the peace she so desperately craved. Settled into her small apartment on the outskirts of Denver, she embraced solitude after a chaotic past, a messy breakup and more roommates than she could handle. The modest apartment offered sunlight by day, with large windows looking out towards the woods. But by night, those same windows transformed into black mirrors. And it was then she first noticed it, the silhouette, a man standing silently at the tree line. It started around midnight after Alyssa had turned off the TV. As her eyes drifted to the window, there he was, still watching. She laughed nervously, chalking it up to shadows, and locked the windows, convinced it was nothing. But the next night he was closer. She stared heart-pounding at the unyielding dark outline. When she turned to switch on the porch light, it flickered out, and just like that, he was gone. Despite closing the curtains, she couldn't shut out the fear. On the fourth night, she awoke to hear tapping at her window. Breath caught in her throat, the silhouette pressed its palm against the glass before sliding away. The police found nothing, dismissing her fear with talk of pranks. Alyssa remained uneasy, arming herself with pepper spray and a hammer. By the sixth night, a whisper broke her sleep. Ally, the nickname only her deceased father used. She opened the curtain in a rush of terror, finding nothing but 3 condemning words written on the fogged glass. "You left me." After restless sleep at her sister's, Alyssa returned home to more unnerving discoveries. A shattered mirror, her name etched on the wall, an arrow pointing to a small air vent. Inside it lay her childhood stuffed rabbit, the one she had lost in a fire years ago. That night, at the stroke of 3, the voice returned, inside her room, chilling her to the core. "You shouldn't have left me, Allie," it murmured by her ear. She moved out the next day, leaving the haunting memories behind. Yet, even now, Alyssa sometimes wakes in the dead of night, swearing she sees a fading handprint on her window, still whispering of the past.